I'm Polly Sayer and welcome to this week's SheerLuxe show. It's December, which means it's officially Christmas month, and we are celebrating by partnering with eBay to talk all about gifting, from presents to yourself or presents for other people. We have got you covered to guarantee beaming smiles on Christmas morning. But first, let me introduce our wonderful guests: fashion stylist and pre-loved style director of eBay, Amy Bannerman; presenter and model, Rabea Schif and SheerLuxe's very own fashion and creative director, Hough. Merry Christmas, everyone!
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
I mean, we just said it's officially December. Are you feeling festive yet?
That to me is when it kicks in. 1st of December, you're allowed to put on the Christmas songs. It's beginning now.
Okay, so yeah, Rabea, you're ready for Christmas, right? Okay,
am.
Have you got your Christmas tree up yet?
Not yet, but I'm thinking, I've actually just moved and we've got like a really, really high ceiling, so I was thinking of getting like a 5-meter high Christmas tree. How amazing would that be?
Yeah.
I've always wanted one of those.
Yeah, I've just moved as well in the last 6 months. I've gone from like a flat to a slightly bigger house. So I'm like, oh, I can get a big tree.
Yeah, lots of Christmas decorations.
Yeah,
They are very expensive though. Just FYI, the big old trees.
Okay.
I knew you were going to say decorations. I was
going
to say buy them pre-loved, and they won't be.
Yeah,
very good
very
idea.
clever. Yeah,
Or make them as well.
Okay, that's a bit ambitious.
Do you make your own Christmas decorations?
Yeah, I got sent something that was in this box with kind of little bits of cardboard that looked like flowers, so I've kept it and I'm going to string them.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Love that.
I've made big bows out of brown paper before.
Well, kicking off with some great tips already. Let's talk about presents, shall we? Because, I mean, I love Christmas and I love presents. So I feel like there has been a big uptake in pre-loved in the last year, from eBay hosting its first London Fashion Week show, Amy, which I know you kind of put together. I was there, it was amazing.
Thank you.
I think, we're all just embracing a bit more originality, aren't we? So what I want to know is, like, does this apply to presents as well?
Yeah, so pre-loved gifting is something that I have done for about 7 years with my family. I roped them all into it. It's just made it so much more fun, I think, because you have to think about it a bit ahead of time. It's quite funny on Christmas Day. My nephews always go to kind of a charity shop and choose something for me, and it can be quite obscure. But
what kind of things have they got you in the past?
Oh God, I got a Valentine's teddy, an enormous Valentine's teddy that said "I love you," and I don't know, it was like a discarded Valentine's gift. But I love that you have to think about it. So start shopping in kind of November and really thinking about what somebody needs, rather than this panic buying on Christmas Eve and going and getting something that everybody else has.
Yeah.
I've already got my dad a vintage Meatloaf t-shirt because he's obsessed with Meatloaf.
That's so cool.
That's so nice.
Yeah, it was a mega bargain on eBay, and I just know it's such a nostalgic thing because he used to play it when we were kids. So there's like that layer of, I'm really looking forward to seeing his reaction.
Yeah.
He can't watch this though, otherwise he'll
give away the secret. There's something really personal, isn't there, about buying a pre-loved gift for someone.
And I think also because you can panic buy. And I think when you do a panic buy, maybe it's not the most thoughtful or the most useful or whatever, and then people probably discard it really quickly. So then those items are probably then, given to the charity shops and then, got rid of them. So I think when you really think about it, buying pre-loved, like that kind of circular fashion, that's so much more thoughtful, it's so much more sustainable, and it's a really great way of gifting.
And with kids' toys as well, like there's so many, like especially if they're plastic, they're all out there anyway. So my son, all of his toys come from eBay.
Amazing.
It's also nice to then just feed back into it, so to give stuff into the charity
Yeah,
shops
exactly.
as well, like that's always a good thing.
One of my favourite things is when you go into a charity shop and then you walk down a couple of days later and you see your item in the window.
Oh, I didn't
like
that.
I made it into the window.
I didn't like that.
I know,
I find the I don't know, like separation.
Really? You kind of want to buy it back.
No, I just don't want. Once I've decided, I'm like,
it's gone.
It's gone out of my eyes.
I once gave an item to a charity shop, and then like a few days later, I think I saw someone like wearing it, and I was just like, "Slay, hun! Yeah, that looks really good on you." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's been picked up really quickly."
But the worst is if you see it and you want it back.
I know.
That's my thing. Always
You're
when you're like, "Oh damn, why did I give that away? It was such a good one."
Yeah.
I always find with the pre-loved shopping for gifts as well. Like I tend to go into charity shops, going to buy something for myself, obviously, and then I find things. I don't actually go out hunting for things. That's always my thing for gifting. I look around and it's like, oh wow, that bowl would be really nice for that person, which I quite like. Whereas I find if you buy new things, it's more sort of going on it, like
definitely,
actually knowing what you want. But I actually quite like the surprise shopping.
That's interesting because I do the opposite. So I make a list and plan what I want to get someone. Like for my brother, I got him a a vintage wax jacket and I had it re-waxed. And,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but
I wanna
I
go to Christmas at
knew,
your
so I
house.
honed in on using the filters and like exactly what I'd get.
You
to
seem
be able to,
very organised. I'm
Yeah.
liking this. I mean, I don't do the whole like 2 months in
I do it
advance
kind
shopping.
of like,
I love that you do that.
all through the year. Like if I see something, because I'm always shopping for eBay, if I see something I think, oh, my mum would love that, I kind of
You're
squirrel
very
it away.
organised.
Because
Yeah.
you also know that there's just one off, so you have
Yeah,
to buy it.
exactly.
You have to
Yeah.
buy it there and then. You know,
Yeah.
you can't sort of wait for it and just put it into your basket and sort of be like, oh, if it's
Exactly.
still around, then. But
Yeah.
like, yeah. You
And then
just-
December's more relaxing.
Yeah,
Very
I think
clever.
that
True.
that kind
Good
of
tip.
one-off as well. Like that's like also such a big perk to know that when you're giving someone something, it is a one-off. It's
Yeah.
not going to be like someone else has got it, or you know, there's loads else out there. You
Yeah.
know, with the trends that we see out there all the time, sometimes an item can get
Yeah.
a bit like, oof.
Plus,
Yeah.
it's nice to just get something from a different season. I mean, there's just the most. I mean, I love old season stuff as well,
Yeah.
and it's just great to find that online. I find.
Yeah, well, you can find some pretty rare items.
Absolutely.
Particularly on eBay, I found some really good bits that are like, you know,
Especially bags.
yeah, bags are really good.
Really
We'll talk
good.
about that in a bit. But, you know, if you really want to get someone something special, and it's like always kind of cheaper, isn't it, than what it would be RRP. So you
Yeah.
can get them something really, really rare, really, really unique, and like, you know, the budget's not been blown, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
So-
also the thrill of it. There's just
Yeah.
this thing.
Yes.
It's like, oh my god, look what I found. It's like treasure hunting. I always find like
Yeah.
vintage shopping is always, or pre-loved shopping, always like the best find.
When you find that special someone, like the present,
Yeah.
you're like, this is so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found one of my oldest friends when she was a teenager. She worked like doing odd jobs and saving up for this Ralph Lauren, you know, with the flag, the knit.
Oh yeah.
And she wore it till it fell apart. And for her 30th, I found the same one. And when she opened it, I just knew. And it was inexpensive, but she just was like, it was like being reunited with an old friend. And she was like, and just the thought as well. She's like, I
Yeah.
can't believe you remembered. And like,
That's so sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything that you shared about the pre-love gifting, all of them has got such a thoughtful element to it, and I think that really carries through.
Yeah.
And another way of doing that is like I've been given this was my grandma's bracelet my parents gave me when I was 30, but like if you know someone covets something of
Yeah.
yours, like I've got a dress a friend really loves,
Yeah.
and if you can bear to part with it, I think that if they've always said, oh, I really love that,
Yeah.
that's a really nice way of doing
Yeah.
it.
I've done that for my niece, actually. She loved one of my leather jackets. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You can have that. And a bag as well. Like,
Oh, she
yeah.
remembered
She
that.
remembered,
Yeah.
yeah.
As nice as you two.
I'm not
Keep it
going
all
to
for
come to
yourself.
Christmas to your house, but I would come to your house.
to yours.
I'll be sending you my Christmas letter.
Well, I'm feeling very inspired to shop some Christmas pre-love gifts. Next up is a bit more gifting inspo. Amy, a woman most definitely in the know at what eBay has to offer, has curated a selection of the most incredible bags, clothes, shoes, jewellery, presents for days.
My name is Amy Bannerman and I am eBay's pre-love style director, and today I am showing you my edit of the most incredible things on eBay to either maybe gift yourself or your loved ones. So before we get to the accessories, I'm going to start with the clothes. Leather is a massive trend this season, and I don't know why anybody would buy leather new. Like this love-worn leather jacket is just an incredible piece. It looks so luxury and you could wear it with an evening dress, layered, a really timeless classic. Every Christmas my family do pre-love Christmas, and I'm getting my dad, I hope he's not watching this, I'm getting him a Meatloaf t-shirt. But this is a classic example. This is an 80s Bon Jovi t-shirt. These are collectible pieces, so they only increase with value, so it's like you're giving someone an investment piece. The fact that you can choose someone's favourite band or a concert they went to that they loved, it just shows real thought. Another one, so I'm obsessed with pre-love wax jackets. They just get better with age. This is an incredible Barber Beadale, which is such a good shape, and I've had it embroidered with, of course, my initials, so it has to come home with me, by Cressida Jameson, who's an incredible embroiderer. And so that is completely unique, and imagine that you know someone's gone to the thought and care of finding you the jacket and then having it personalised. I just think it's such a special item and also so practical. Varsity jackets for Love Island have become a massive thing, so when I started styling the show we bought into them. This is a classic eBay piece. There are so many. I love these wool ones for winter with the leather sleeves. It means when it gets colder you can layer something thicker underneath, and I've chosen again an A for Amy, so this probably has to come home with me too. This is self-gifting at its finest. I'm obsessed with leopard print, and this season it is having a massive moment, and in my opinion, vintage leopard print, this is a 60s jacket, there's just something about the tone of it that it feels less brash, and I think there's, you know, Kate Moss era, very kind of relaxed. It's such a good shape and so affordable. This was £30. I mean, I don't know why you would buy a new one when there are so many of these on eBay. And this is what I'm going to be wearing on Christmas Day. It's the only day of the year we get dressed up. This is a Kate dress, and it feels like it leans into that boho trend, which is having another moment, which has come back around again, but now it feels a bit more like luxury boho. Would put this with this Saint Laurent neck scarf, which just feels really timeless. And I would wear this with these vintage 90s Miu Miu heels. So the next piece is this vintage Escada suit. eBay is amazing for pre-loved tailoring, especially designer pieces, which are obviously so incredibly made. This is such a Christmas suit, and you could wear it as separates, like wear this over a dress or wear this with like a cashmere sweater, but it feels really, really special for the festive season. Obviously, when you're buying presents for other people, you often come across things that you might quite like for yourself. So I have put together this look, which is a Junya skirt, grey wool with this Christopher Kane sweater, and this is such a special piece. I love this one because it's got these hole cutouts, and I would put these two together and have kind of like a tonal look, but that's kind of, you know, Christmas daytime. So imagine you are unwrapping your gifts under the Christmas tree. I can't think of anyone who wouldn't love to receive jewellery, and I have found some amazing things. This is a vintage diamond pendant necklace. It's so classic, and it obviously comes in this beautiful box. We have got these amazing Tiffany pearl earrings. This blue box is synonymous with luxury, and if you can just imagine unwrapping this on Christmas Day, you know there's going to be something really special inside it. So this is a vintage Tiffany bracelet. There is only one of them on eBay. It's such an unusual piece, and it's amazing that you can buy vintage jewellery and kind of unmarked, unbranded pieces as well. One of the things I love most about eBay is all of the filters. So when you're shopping for luxury gifts, for something like a handbag, you can filter by authenticity guarantee, and that means anything above £500 will be sent to the authentication centre. And like with this Miu Miu bag, you know that they've counted the stitches and they've checked it, and it's the real deal. This feels so current. It feels like something you would find in a department store right now, but it's a pre-loved piece in amazing condition, and I think it goes quite nicely with what I'm wearing. You can also look for vintage pieces. So this shape of clutch at the moment is kind of the most current shape I think you could carry. It's very solid, boxy, and this is a vintage Gucci clutch, and I just think it's like a piece of fashion history. Another search tool on eBay which not a lot of people know about is something called Imperfects, and the way I describe this is it's like the fashion industry's version of wonky fruit and veg, and these by far shoes are the perfect example. So there's nothing wrong with them. They've got some tiny scratches on the sole where someone's obviously tried them on in the shop, but these retail for £800 and we got them for 120. They're unworn, they've just been tried on. And sometimes it will be that the box is damaged or it doesn't have a box, but you can go in to the Imperfect section on eBay and you can filter by size, so you only get your size, and we have everything from clothes to accessories, and I just love these shoes so much. Obviously, not everyone is a heels kind of person, and I've got really back into trainers recently. I know that Sambas have had like a massive surge, but now we're seeing on eBay the Asics are having a real moment. These are Kiko Konstantinov, just so cool. I love the ideas of these with like a black dress, or gifting these to a man in your life. And these are also covered by authenticity guarantee, so any trainers above £100 and you'll get a card with them as well, which makes it feel like way more premium. Every Christmas, before Christmas, I always buy myself a gift. These have been on my wish list for such a long time. These Totem boots that are just, the heel, they're just very practical. Wear them with like a long skirt or a long dress or under trousers. These current season, they've still got the stickers on the sole. You can see this one's a little bit scratched, but they're pretty much brand new and cost about, I think, about a third of the price that you would have paid brand new. They're top of Lou's list as well, so if Lou wants them, I think everyone wants them. So I hope that I have inspired you to shop pre-loved this festive season like me and my family. Wishing you all a very merry pre-loved Christmas.
Wow, how incredible was that haul? Girls, if you had to pick one thing from the rail or the stand, what would you pick?
So hard to pick because there are so many goodies on there.
So many goodies.
But those Totem knee-high croc boots
So
are talking to
good.
me. I've like had my eye on them for years, and just amazing that you can also buy not just kind of vintage archive pieces on eBay, but like you can get new pieces just at a fraction of the cost. Just
Yeah, the stuff that people want right now,
Yeah.
they're in the shops right now.
amazing.
Yeah,
They're
they're,
such mint condition.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
I know they're
literally,
barely
new.
worn.
It's amazing,
they've
amazing.
been on my list for a long time.
Yeah.
They've been online as well, but they're big for me. I actually love the bag.
The bag
Gucci
is
bag.
mega, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it was going with what you're
I
wearing.
freaking love it. Obviously, I'm a Gucci lover, but this is like I love because it's an old one as well, like
Yeah.
one that you would never find again.
No, I'd never seen another
No,
one.
me neither.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No, amazing.
So on Christmas Day, if you were presented with that,
You'd
be quite
yes,
happy.
yes, I would. Yes, so Amy, let's talk about the handbag.
Very nice. Amy, what's your favourite?
I would maybe say the wax jacket.
Nice.
I live in a wax jacket. I
Yeah.
wear it through spring and then put a big thick jumper. It's very practical, but it feels quite like Miu Miu vibes. And
Yeah.
the fact that it's been embroidered, it's got my initials on the collar, so it kind of has to come home with me.
Yes, definitely your jacket. It's got your
It's
name
meant to
literally on
be.
it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about pre-loved picks generally. I love this question. What is your best ever pre-loved luxury find? Rabea, I feel like you are so good at this sort
So
of thing.
difficult to say my one favorite find. I'll do it just because I'm wearing them today. These boots actually, this is the condition they came in. I mean, they were completely newly heeled. I don't think the person who bought them had ever worn them before.
amazing.
Wow.
And they were from a secondhand store, from a pre-loved store, and I just absolutely adore and love them. I mean, that was a real find. Plus, I had my eyes on them for years. Completely, they weren't on my mind anymore. And then I looked into the window and I was like, oh my god, those are the boots.
Was
I've
it
always-
like the
and-
shining light?
Yeah.
And then I was like, da-da, the size. This is always the thing.
that's
'cause then-
crazy.
the
That's
thing.
meant to be.
Because like when you do secondhand shopping, it's always like, yeah, I love it, but is it my size?
Yeah.
And then especially
Yeah.
when it comes to shoes, and it was like, it was my size. Like if I put them on and they fit perfectly on me, and they were literally a third of the original
That's
price.
insane.
And
But it's also
crazy.
about waiting, isn't it? Because it's like gratification. Like if you just wanted them and bought them, you probably.
I would have
it's
been
like-
so gutted standing in front of the window going,
Yeah.
oh, damn, if I would have waited
Yeah.
for just a couple months. No, well,
But
actually, it
you
was a
probably
couple
love
of years.
them more because of that.
So
'cause
much
you've
more.
waited.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
I
much
think you
more.
know then how much you really want something if you then have to wait for it.
Exactly.
And I think your point as well to that, like every item is still in circulation.
Yeah.
is, yeah.
It will be somewhere.
Yeah.
So that kind of joy of the hunt of finding, like hunting something down.
But I feel like
So
there
much
is a
fun.
vintage manifestation thing going on. Like if you manifest, like
Yeah,
if you
definitely.
right? Have you
Yeah.
noticed? Like if you
Yeah.
literally put yourself out there and just say, I need a leopard. That leopard, I will find it at some point somewhere.
Yeah.
And then sort of like half a year later, you'll just find it just comes up and you're like, see, I knew it.
Yeah.
I
And
knew
you
I'm
can
going to find.
set alerts on eBay. So if it's something like that
Ooh.
Prada shearling coat that was kind of purple
Yeah.
and gold, and they had a red one. I've always wanted that, and I have an alert. So as soon as someone lists one, you'll get the alert.
Genius.
Smart.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So you don't have to keep looking. It will
That's
just
so
tell
clever.
you. Yeah.
Oh
That's
wow,
amazing.
and the right size and everything as well. You can
Yeah,
probably do that
exactly.
as well.
You can. Yeah.
Very smart.
Clever.
Amy, I always love following you on Instagram because I feel like you post all the amazing things that you've found on eBay. So tell us a few of your favourite scoops.
One of them actually was when I started working on the partnership with Love Island, and I just had a baby, and I was feeling not kind of like ready for work, particularly like I had to go and meet all of the islanders, which obviously they're all very glamorous.
Yeah.
And I found a Christopher Kane velvet dress that was like kind of midi, quite fitted in my size, and it was £80. And then when I googled it, it was at nearly £1,000, and it was still for sale. Like,
Oh my God.
Wow.
and this woman had worn it maybe once or twice, and I remember just putting it on, and just it gave me so much confidence, and I felt ready for this important day. And yeah, so that like really the incredible saving, but also the power of clothes. And,
Yeah. That's so
and then
cool.
probably the thing which kind of kicked off my love of pre-loved was finding a Moschino blazer in a charity shop in Tunbridge Wells where I grew up, and it's black. I just remember the moment when I found it and I was holding it and this woman was kind of following me around. I think she was like, are you going to put that down? And it's military and really like nipped at the waist and with these big kind of gold baubles.
Yeah.
And when I found it, I think it was £20 or something. And I've still got it and I wore it throughout my career for like, you know, if I had a big event or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the cost per wear, but also just that moment of, you know, digging through a rail and thinking, oh my God.
Do you think the people that own that charity shop knew like the relevance of what it was?
No.
Yeah, you don't put £20 label.
No, but now obviously people are more, so you have like specific rails for, you know, luxury things, but I think at the time you could more find those things like those supplies.
But you have to go to places where, like I talked about before, in Marbella, like places like where the rich people are and they put their stuff away. No, really, and it's the best wardrobes and they sell it for fairly cheap, like a fraction of the price.
All the charity shops around the King's Road are always good ones to go to. My husband is very into film photography and he always talks about when like the hope of like going into a charity shop and finding like an old Leica camera. And for our first Christmas, I bought him a Canon A1 from eBay, and I was so excited to give him that piece because it felt so like unique and like thoughtful, and it wasn't expensive at all. But now we've kind of got that running thread. Like I really hope one day I'll be able to find a better version.
So nice. Have you found anything fashion related?
So yeah, my best pre-loved buy was a SheerLuxe Isabel Marant jacket, and I remember trying it on in the store when it first came out, and it was just wildly expensive. But you know, when you put something on, you're like, oh, I'm not going to stop thinking about you now. And like every time I would get dressed, I think, you know, this outfit would just look so much better if I had that coat. Anyway, it was so expensive. Like months and months passed, and then it popped up, and I was like, oh my god, this means. Like it's meant to be.
It's fate, isn't
and
it?
it was the right size as well. And
really?
yeah, when you know it's the right size, it is. Although I will say you're fantastic at this when it's not the right size, getting it taken in and tailored.
Absolutely.
Like the
I'm one of
suit
those people.
right?
Like the suit that I got on the market, which is my absolute favorite find of the year. My safari suit. And it's so soft.
It's gorgeous.
But the trousers were way too big, and I had to have those taken in. But it's worth a while because nobody
Yeah,
else
it
will
is.
ever
Yeah.
have it. Ever, like I find it just looks like so high end and so
It's
and so
insane.
original 1970s. And just for me, the fact that it lives on. Plus, I'd love to know who wore it back then in the days. I mean, who was the cool dude or woman who wore this suit?
I think when you're thinking about the stories as well, about those pieces as well, like how many lives have these pieces had? What have they done? Like so amazing.
I always said it'd be really cool to do like a little like a cartoon story of like a handbag and the story that it tells of all the homes that it had been in. You know, like if they could talk, like the Gucci bag, I'm sure had the most glamorous life ever.
Lots of
the
parties.
events that it's been to and everything.
Put a little like candy can in the corner of it, following it around. Yeah, so cool.
So cool. Well, I personally have got some really good bits on eBay over the years. I got this jumper actually quite recently.
Yeah,
this
it really
is
suits
the
you.
Nina Ricci one, which I think I got for like 120 quid.
Wow.
Really good.
And then actually I also just got like a little cropped red Miu Miu jumper for like 180, which is insane for Miu Miu. That would be like thousands new, and I don't know, I just like snapped it up really quickly. I'm obsessed with it.
And were they pieces that you were looking for? Or?
I think like a mix of things. Like sometimes I go looking for like a brand specifically. Like I was just really into the Miu Miu vibe. I'm like, oh, what can I get? And then other times I'm like, I want this bag, so I'll look for it. I also got maybe my best luxury handbag I've ever got on eBay is this green Gucci Bullet, which has got like the bamboo fastening.
Oh, nice.
It's such a cool colour, such a cool shape, and I haven't seen it on anyone else. And I'm
so
just
nice
like
as well.
obsessed with it. So.
Your leather burgundy long trench as well.
Yes.
Obsessed with that.
Yeah, and that's unbranded, but again, I was just like, I want a burgundy trench, and I don't want to pay like hundreds and thousands of pounds for it. And I found it on eBay. I think it was something like 100 quid, like a real leather
It's
burgundy.
so good. The shoulders are so good on it.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And also
like,
no one else will have it on. That's the thing, when something like burgundy is trending and you're in the street, you don't want to like walk past someone in the same outfit.
no, exactly.
It's a bit of a buzzkill.
It is. And like someone has come up to me, actually a few people have come up to me like in shops and been like, oh, sorry, where's your coat from? And I was like, it's secondhand actually.
That thrill is so nice. It's so annoying when you're the other side of it and you want to get your hands on it and then they say it's pre-loved or you know, and you're like, oh.
But then you know you can take a picture of it and use image search on eBay.
No.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
So with this, you might find this. I mean, I doubt you.
No, not the same one, but like a safari suit, like this sort of. Really,
this
is a game changer. And can I ask, how does it work with returns? Can you return things on eBay?
It depends on the seller. So if you
so
check,
it's the seller,
often I would message before and say, if this doesn't work on me, is it okay to send it back? But if it's a business, they would by default. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Well, we'll talk about some more shopping tips on eBay in a moment. But next up, let's take a look at what fun was had when I visited eBay HQ to undertake a style challenge. Hello, I am at the eBay archive at their HQ. I've been here before and it is literally like walking into the best pre-loved shop you've ever been in. So I'm really excited to go and do a deep dive now and see if we can find some sort of party season pieces. I've already got my eye on a few, so let's go. This tartan top, which I've just been advised by Amy, she thought was a dress at first. But I'm loving it as a top, and tartan feels very now. The brand is Marina Serre. How sweet would that be? Maybe with like a tailored trouser, like Christmas party vibes. I'm really into that. Maybe like a mini skirt or something. Oh, love. Perpetually attracted to sequins and embellishment. Amy said that they got this on eBay for like £100, which is just a steal. That would be like thousands normally. So amazing. Oh, I can see some more sparkles back here. This is from an H&M Moschino collab. It weighs a ton. You can really feel the quality. That with like under a black blazer, maybe with some tailored trousers again or some leathers. It's very extra, but if you can't be extra at party season, then when can you? It's giving Clueless. Love that. Bella Freud jumper, brand new tags. That's something you can get on eBay. Stuff that's basically like never been worn. Got some Brunello Cucinelli. Look at that Prada cardi. Oh my god. That's so adorable. Feels so lush, really soft. Obsessed. Fair on knitwear. I love it. And I feel like you can get so many like on the high street, but there are so many that exist on eBay, on secondhand sites already. So why not get like a truly vintage one, like this one or this one? It's just got loads of like history and personality. I feel like Sapna could rock this. I should wear like a big blazer with it, but that is just really cool, isn't it? It's that kind of naked vibe. Paco, really cool. And if I had to find an outfit for Charlotte, let's go for Charlotte next. You know, for an event, she would wear something like really extra. I've seen her wearing like this colour pink before. It's got a big sleeve. I know she likes a big sleeve. It's just, I mean, that's insane, isn't it? This is at Claire. Woof. That's a smash. What about Lou? I actually just spotted this like velvet dress here. Very elegant. I think Lou would like, you know, keep it quite simple. That is so beautiful. And I love that slightly scalloped neckline as well, if you can see there. Beautiful. Who else can we do? Nana. Ha ha ha. It's gonna be fun. Nana sometimes just like slays a mini dress. She also loves an H&M collab, and this is from the Versace H&M collab. So I've seen those legs. I know she could rock a mini like this. Yeah, that's so cool, and I definitely can see her in that. But let's also go for a more colourful option because I know she loves a bit of colour. That's cool. Atelier Versace. Oh my god. It's just a little tiny, teeny mini dress, but it's got this sort of fringy detail. It's just so cool. It feels quite structured. Again, red, great colour for this time of year. Either Nana, and if she doesn't want to wear it, I will wear it instead. I feel like you can find such good handbags on eBay. I certainly have in the past. Obviously, a little sequin number is the first to catch my eye. This is a little Prada number. How unreal is that? I also love that little vintage Gucci. I'm a big fan of these kind of like 90s bags. That was just like a really simple outfit. That is the look, isn't it? And then we've also got some Bottega. How good to be able to get Bottega on eBay at like a fraction of RRP, and that is in such mega condition. So we're just taking all the bags off to show you some of the jewellery and watches that eBay has in the archive. I'm particularly excited by some of the Cartier watches because this is literally on my life forever list, not just a Christmas list. But it's really good with all my silver jewellery, but also because it's two-tone, I feel like it would look good with gold as well. I feel like I deserve a treat. Maybe it's like a gift from me to me. So this little guy is an original Cartier watch from 1976. We've got the original receipt, which is just so cool to see. £395. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? Now that would be like thousands. amazing that that's from 1976. So if you're looking for like a really thoughtful gift, I think, for someone this Christmas, maybe a birthday, maybe you could get them a watch from the year of their birth. How thoughtful would that be? Van Cleef and Arpels next. Beautiful necklace. It's a real classic, isn't it? This is an unbranded vintage ring. That is so mega. I love like a big chunky ring like that. Some earrings. Again, these are just unbranded ones. I'm not going to put them in, but how beautiful. A little bit of sparkle. I just pulled out this Vivienne Westwood dress, which I recognised from the eBay London Fashion Week show. So I couldn't pass up the opportunity to try that on. There's also some Kate Moss Topshop. Who remembers that? I remember like being obsessed with this collection. So I think I'm going to try this on as well. More feathers. This looks like 16 Arlington. And it is 16 Arlington. It's so nice. Ooh. Simone Rocha again. Little sheer number. So sweet. This is the famous Kate Moss Topshop dress. Such an iconic piece. Sucks me in kind of in just the right way. It was a bit of a but I feel like you kind of want that from a dress like this. I love the feathers, feels very now, even though this dress is quite old now. And with these 90s Miu Miu heels, just the perfect combination for a party season. Hey, so I'm wearing the Simone Rocha top, some Chloe trousers and some Versace heels. I'm obsessed. This top is as good as I expected, with like a little black brandony. No, I just think it's such a vibe. What do you reckon? Maybe I need a Coke because I'm gonna get cold. This is Bofi. Oh my God. That's like the best thing I've seen all year, I think. This is so cool. I like blood red cracked leather. It's also good. I'm going to try my best to walk in these shoes. I'm wearing a full Westwood look. I'm obsessed with the dress. I know I've said I'm obsessed with a lot of things, but I think this takes the biscuit. This is my favourite thing I've tried on so far. I love how fitted it is here. This is just very extra, and these hips don't lie, do they? What this reminds me of is, you know, in the Sex and the City movie when Carrie gets married in that amazing Westwood dress. The neckline's the same, so if it's a bit Carrie, then I'm sold. Well, I've had the most fun sifting through the archive and trying some bits on. I think it really goes to show that you can find some absolute gems on eBay. I've just tried on this vintage jacket, which I've just heard is the most coveted item in the whole of the archive, and it only cost about £30. I'm hoping they won't notice if I just walk off with it, so I better run. Bye. That place always blows my mind. It is amazing. I've been a couple of times. It's like I'm like a kid at Christmas in there.
Isn't it? I think I've been like 5 times now, and every time I go, I'm like, there's just something new that you discover every time.
You keep saying to me, can I buy this?
I know.
Like, no, you still can't.
It's so amazing though. And yeah, and every time I've been as well, I've then been so inspired. I'm like, right, I need to get on eBay. All of my shopping wish list. I'm just going to go and punch it into eBay.
Totally.
So many good pieces.
Well, we've seen what's on offer now, and we're all completely invested in a pre-love Christmas, I think. So let's talk about some tips and tricks for anyone watching. You know, what's the best way to find what you want? Any hacks? I know, Amy, you have plenty.
Yeah, I'm overflowing with hacks. One of mine for shopping luxury on eBay is to filter by price. So like if you wanted to buy your Nina Ricci sweater or like a luxury sweater for your mum or whatever, you put in the item and then you filter by price. So I always put £100. Like if I was looking for a black dress or something like that. And then you only get more premium brands or like more rare vintage pieces, so it kind of cuts out the high street stuff if that's not what you're looking for. So when you're shopping for luxury gifts for people like jewellery and handbags, there is a search tool called Authenticity Guarantee, and that's marked by a blue tick, and that means it goes via eBay's authentication centre, and these guys are like, they know everything about everything, so they can forensically examine something, and it means when you're buying, so obviously it's an investment, you want to make sure it's the real deal, and they'll make sure when it arrives with you that it's, and you get a card that says it is. So if you're giving it as a gift, that's a really nice, you know, it makes it feel more more luxury as well. It's packaged nicely and
just peace of mind as well. I guess also when you're buying something online, you're never 100% sure if you haven't kind of felt it. So nice to know, that you're definitely getting it.
Yeah, I've
That
definitely
you do that. Yeah. How does there's just like a little box that you cross, and then you say you want it to be run by. Okay, amazing.
So on the left-hand side, there's a filter at the bottom, and if you just tick that, you only get those things. So with jewellery, trainers,
because especially handbags and
jewellery,
handbags.
yeah,
And
exactly.
watches as well.
and
Absolutely.
Really good.
Watches obviously is a great thing as well to find on eBay. Good.
And a great Christmas gift.
Yeah, I've
I
really
like
got my
watch.
eye on a really lovely
Me
Cartier
too.
watch.
Oh, have you? Which
Yeah,
one?
I'm not going to pronounce
this a
it correctly.
hint to your
The
husband?
Panthère.
Yeah.
Charlotte
Yeah,
said
yeah.
it better for me last time. But yeah, the mixed metal one is just
stunning,
so
isn't it?
chic.
I
sure
quite
you'll
like
find
them
that on
older.
eBay.
Yeah, it's just trying to find the right one, the right size. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's loads of them
loads.
on there.
Yeah.
Alert, isn't
Alert,
it?
yeah,
Put an
exactly,
alert in there.
exactly.
Yeah.
That would suit you. I have the Gucci, the Gucci one from the 80s with the changeable
Oh
face.
yeah, my
That
mum
was my
had that
mum's.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She gave it to me, and I remember when I opened it, I was like, because I used to try it on when she wasn't in her room, and I'd always get it stuck, and so it was like, I felt like I'd come of age. But I love that you can change the colour.
Yeah, do you know, my mum also had it, and I remember like when she was getting ready to go out, whatever, and sitting like on her bed, and she'd be like, "You can pick the watch face if you like." So I would like look
You
at
should
her
get one of
outfit
those.
and like plan it around it. Yeah, it was so sweet.
That's really cute.
that's a good
I
idea.
looked, there's quite a lot on eBay because I thought they were very rare, but
Size,
That's something
Yeah.
to know, isn't it? That
Yeah.
there are so many professional sellers on eBay, and the prices are still amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you do the same, but I kind of, earmark the sellers that I like and have the things that,
Yeah.
I'm interested in, and then you could just keep coming back to them rather than having to just start, the search all over again.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's a good way. We found someone when we were shopping for Love Island who had all this vintage kind of Gucci and Tom
Okay, who
Ford.
is this person?
It's top secret. I mean, when you look at their store, you kind of think, wow, what maybe they were a stylist, but such an incredible archive of pieces.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's quite exciting. It's like seeing inside someone's wardrobe.
Yeah, I feel like once you get into it, you can just scroll it like it's Instagram. Like you're just
Yeah.
looking into someone's wardrobe. Maybe you're not shopping at that point, but just browsing like that is so exciting.
Yeah.
But what do you mean it's top secret? You're sharing this with us, but then you're not doing it. It's like literally dangling the carrot. Like,
I might
we're
show
going to
you
talk
after.
after the show. I was going to say, let's talk after the show.
What's your thoughts on with the search, like spelling a designer name slightly incorrectly?
Yeah, I found a lot of things like
Oh, you have.
So,
What?
um,
Okay.
Yeah, my tip is if, so for Love Island, I found a Jean Paul Gaultier co-ord. It's like a denim, I think it's 90s, like a crop top and shorts. It's been worn quite a few times, but I remember I was shopping feverishly and just put, I think I only put Jean Paul and left. So if they've got multiple names, I only put one in.
Okay.
And it came up and they'd spelled Gaultier wrong, and it was £80.
oh, wow.
I know. So always if there's multiple, I got my sofa like that because it's Linneo Rossett and they spelt Rossett wrong. So
Wow.
it was really affordable. But always put one of the names because obviously you can play around with spelling, but that's harder to guess.
Yeah.
That's a really
Or
good
like
hack.
with Diamante for Love Island, they're obsessed with sparkly things. So we'd put crystal or diamante or sparkly, or like you kind of have to get into someone else's mind and think like, how would you describe that? Or they might put sequined and it's not. So
Yeah, I remember search as well. Frederica, we did a shoot with her earlier on in the year, and she was saying that like have your search name. So for her, she loves like big shoulders, 80s suits. So that was always like her search criteria as well. So not necessarily a designer, but if you just put the criteria of what you're looking for.
I
then you
love
get
the
something good.
80s, like especially for Christmas,
Yeah.
like dresses, like they're so amazingly
so
made.
fun.
And with Rivals, that whole resurgence. But if you just put 80s dress in your size, it's just like some of the shapes, they feel so kind of like now.
Yeah.
With big bows or that kind of taffeta and
Yeah.
Mine's always 70s safari.
Those would be your keywords.
You're permanently on safari.
Yeah. And in terms of like, I think there's always a bit of hesitation with buying clothes online about the fit and things like that. But, I think communicating with the sellers, isn't it, is quite a hot tip, I suppose. You can ask for measurements and...
I'm not so good with measurements. What I find really useful, like I've been looking for a leopard coat, and I find if you just see like a still life shot of it, it's quite hard to imagine what it looks like on. But if I always ask can they try it on, because often you're like, oh, I don't like that. Like feels a bit, I don't know, the shape's not right, or it's much easier to imagine it.
Yeah, so you can send photos within like the eBay platform,
No,
or they
often
just,
they
add it, right?
Yeah, they'll say,
that's
I'll add
handy.
it, and then that's
clever.
saved me loads of
Because
Yeah.
you can kind of think, oh, it would be really slim fit, or it would be like this, but you can see where it falls.
Yeah.
Or
Because they always have it, or often they have it on mannequins,
Yeah.
just like or like a half mannequin. I always
Yeah,
find like
yeah.
you can't really
Yeah.
tell the
Not
length,
see.
like you say. Yeah, exactly. So it's good idea to ask for a photograph to
Yeah.
wear it.
And what about when you're in a bidding war? Any tips on that? And how you seal the deal?
breathe deeply, light a candle.
A bit high. No, but like is there a way?
I would say leave it as long as you can.
Okay.
And I'm bidding at the moment on, it's not fashion related, but a vintage fruit bowl.
Fun.
And I've just put, it ends quite soon, so I've just put quite a high, it's only £20 at the moment, so I've put, like, always think, what would you be willing to spend?
Okay,
I think often people put kind of lower than that, but if you think, if it ended and you didn't win it, would you like, you'd
Yeah.
thought, oh, I would have paid more for that,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
put your absolute maximum.
And do you do that at the beginning?
No.
Okay.
I think that's what you can see people bid really early on, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Okay, top tip then. Just wait to the last minute. Don't go in too early.
Set alerts on
Set
your
alerts.
phone.
Okay.
Good things come to those who wait.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Wise
Patience
one.
is a virtue. Well, thank you. That's it for today. Thank you so much to you guys. That was so fun. Next week, Nana is back with more great guests and fabulous content. In the meantime, we would love it if you could comment below, give us a thumbs up, and do subscribe if you haven't yet. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Goodbye.